right, guys, we are live again. It is Thursday night, and yes, we have some couples from Divorce Proof Club. We are going to do our after party because we already did the club. We meet every Thursday night at 7 p.m. with 12 couples. We always start out with 12 couples in Divorce Proof Club, but sometimes the work gets heated and some people may not want to continue for the whole 12 weeks. Why? We'll talk about that tonight. My name is Kenya K. Stevens. I am the world's best love coach, and I love to work with couples, stop divorces, and shore up marriages that would otherwise, without tools, fall apart. We don't need y'all falling apart. That's why I'm here. Continue for the whole 12 weeks. And I really do love what I do. So what we do tonight and what we do every Thursday night is we interview Jamilah and Orlando. They are part of Divorce Proof, and they are at week number 10 now. So they are on and popping. They have gone through the hard parts. Oh, and we have a special guest couple. We got Chris and Shani, and I am just exuberant that they are here with us as well. So we got two couples from Divorce Proof Club. Now, y'all know you got to put your questions into the comments, and I will make sure that they hear your questions. But go ahead, let's talk, y'all. Tonight was a big night. It was like a transitional night where we moved from just communication into the technique, the tectonics, the underpinnings of relationships. What was your major takeaway from tonight, Orlando?
That I think tonight was like now I'm seeing how it all comes together. Like, oh, now it all like it's like moment. Yeah. I think when somebody in the group chat said it, like he had like his like the switch went off. Like now he's trying to see, and then you can see where all the teachings from before it all start to connect and see what you're saying about like how you have to disconnect from the Western state of mind and really also not really buy into because this is actually what you need, but really see the importance and the strength and power of the things that we've been saying. And so I think that's what today kind of felt like.
I'm so glad. Did you feel like you would ever have that kind of aha moment? Because I think some people, and Shani and Chris can talk too after. Well, I want y'all to introduce yourself. But Orlando, when you see people in relationships and the relationships are failing, you probably have friends who've had that. Do you feel like they think there's some hope out there or some new way to view things or something that might make a change? Because usually in my view, people be like, it's nothing we could do. And I'm like, why are they saying that? Like, they haven't tried nothing, except maybe a therapist or reading a book. I mean, talk to us about that, Orlando.
I think the hope has always been in like this thought of like there's one person out there for you. Like the thought that like there's somebody that's out there that's gonna make this whole thing, everything that you're worried about, be okay. And then you can just lean on that person and things are gonna be fine. Like the thought of like, hey, everybody's looking for love, to look for that one person out there. And then when you find that one person, there's so much pressure that you put on them. You take all the things that you're bringing with you and then you place it on this one person and they just come into your life. And it's just like, there's a lot of shit for me to like clean up and clutter, like just in our like beginning of our meeting. So, and then that also goes into putting the pressure on somebody instead of realizing the pressure that's being put on you is coming from like the system that you're in and not on this person. So the glory goes to the person, but also all the blame goes to that one person. It's really kind of unfair. But what I like about like the things that we've learned here, especially today, is that kind of for me, it's like kind of confirming because I've always wondered like, hey, I think it's better if like we play a role and we all like play to our strengths instead of just feeling like, well, you should be able to do all of these things for me and I should be able to do all of these things for you. And then if it doesn't work out, then fuck it, can't do it. You're not the right person. Let's keep going. Like,
right. Wow.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. That's good. Now, if you guys want to hear more from Orlando and Jamilah, they're very open with their lives on their podcast that Jamilah is about to tell us about. And then she's going to tell us her takeaways from tonight.
Our podcast is called Love Like This. It's just about constructing your own healthy love and what that looks like, interviewing other couples, other married couples, other dating couples, poly couples, all the type of couples to say, what the fuck are you doing over there? Is it working? And let's take notes. So that's doing over on Love Like This. It's on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Today's takeaway was like, first of all, wow, Kenya really is that bitch. She's really shape shifting and shifting people's perspectives. And I don't know. I just feel like removing the cloak so that there's more. And today's class about the battery, it's really about the partnership, I feel like, and how we work in partnership. A lot of, in today's time, everyone, 2025, it's like, it's my partner. It's not like your boyfriend or your husband no more. It's the partner. But we lack the understanding of what that looks like in movement and in action. And I think a lot of times we like make roles in businesses, but we forget to create roles in our relationships and then execute those roles. If you're at work and somebody asks you to do some shit that's not your job, you're gonna be like, bitch, ask Jenny. That's her job. But in relationships, we tend to have like, there tends to be ego, and we're like, I can do this and this. And I was just telling her, like, and there's always these very rigid roles around what role is for women and what role is for men. And there's like, I want a woman who knows how to listen and who's probably 18 and a half because she don't talk back, which is you want a blow up doll. But the reality, if you want partnership and you want a successful partnership or a successful entity or business, you have to know your roles and respect and trust the person in the other role. And today that was really brought to light. And we had some couples today that I was concerned weren't going to make it. And they came to the other side today. And I was like,
right.
Jesus, Kenya's that bitch.
I was like, are they a better couple than us already?
And you see how the energy just shifts when people start understanding each other and respecting each other's roles versus telling each other what to do.
Right.
So yes. it was beautiful.
And that's just a tidbit, it really showed the how the program helps build like that trust and how much trust that you have to have in somebody to be like, I'm letting you go and then you take over this spot. Because I think a lot of issues that me and Mila had in the beginning when we first like moved in together was, can I trust you to get this done? And because I can't trust you to get this done is why I gotta like micromanage or why I gotta do some of it also. And it's like, just chill. And once you like realize this not only is an exercise or something that can help you with like getting to a goal, but also can help you build trust with each other.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Listen, I am excited to bring Chris. These are volunteers, y'all. Like you said yourself, Jamilah, this week watching those couples come back. Can you believe Hezekiah and y'all say? I mean, because last week we're all like, oh gosh, we we don't know, but we know. I know. I've seen it, and it's Daniela and Ty. It's just beautiful. So yes, we love that. Chris and now Shani on this call with us. That's another advancement. Tell us, y'all, what's up? Introduce yourselves. Tell us how you've been in the club and why you decided to be in Divorce Proof Club and why you decided you're gonna go public tonight. What's up?
Well, so we started off.
Well, who are we?
Oh, who are we?
I'm Shani.
And I'm Chris. And we just two people trying to make it work, however it works. And this is something that we found that worked. Everything else so far, it has its good sides, but nothing seemed to click like this. And
I just want to, before you keep going, it's like we have a deep love and we've always known that very early.
Yeah.
And we weren't ready to get rid of it. We didn't know how to maintain that with all the responsibilities of just becoming an adult because we've been together since teenagers. So it was a very hard transition, and we tried, like Chris said, a lot of things, and I'll pass it back to you, baby.
Yeah, we tried a lot of things, and I mean, I've had my feelings about the club. She's pretty much been more in it than I have, but it's been nothing but positive. Like, and that's the best thing I can really say about it. It really teaches people how to love, how to listen, how to allow, how to feel. Like, man, like once you really get that on all levels, when everybody is running on all levels like that, it just becomes such a beautiful dance, like with your partner, like you just dancing away, like, and that's the best part of it. You can accept so much more about yourself and your partner. That's beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. I love it. Thank you, Shani and Chris, for joining us tonight. So takeaways from tonight, you all are now stepping into battery And I just love that you all, well, let's show the screen a little bit because people are probably like, what the hell is she talking about battery? What is battery? What is battery? And this goes back to what I was saying with Orlando. Like people don't know that there are ways and things that can be done differently than what we've learned in the West. I feel like a lot of people are, as Jamilah said, focusing on the trad wife. Like if she were just a traditional wife, then we would be able to do things. If she would submit, if she would just, you understand, like they think that the gender war is about women not agreeing any longer to the rules. Would you say that that's true, Shani?
May you repeat the question one more time?
Oh no, I wondered, did you hear the question, Jamilah? Because it was Jamilah's point. She said that what's happening today is it feels like men are saying that this gender war would be over if women would just participate in the traditional norms.
Do I agree with that?
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
how do I feel about that? After
how do you
learning,
feel about that? Mm-hmm.
after learning your decision-making process through the battle, before that, I don't agree with that. I just feel like we're not seen. And the things that we bring to the table, like Jamilah said, are just not recognized as just as powerful, you know? But in your battery, it kind of shows like, hey, when you are in your feminine, when you're relaxed enough and know someone will be in the masculine to show up for you in that way, you are able to kind of relish in that role, and it really supports your partner or your lover in a different way. So the Western way is, I feel like it really suppresses and represses who you are. But in this battery, in this structure, it really helps you really to shine and to show up for your family and for yourself in beautiful ways. So that's my opinion.
Good. Yeah. So the battery, for those who don't know, you know, and again, Orlando said people don't know what's out there. They don't know that there's other alternatives. This is an alternative to the thought that if you have a vagina, you should cook and clean and be submissive to the man, right? I don't even think people know what that means. I don't even think people know what submission means. Submission means willing to learn. That's all it means. That you're receptive to taking in information. But anyways, the battery is what we're discussing tonight. It's a decision-making tool that I teach here at the Divorce Proof Club, and it supports us in understanding the various spectrum of masculine energetics that you can see here at the top. Because some people talk about masculinity as if it's one thing. Well, we think of masculinity as a spectrum of energy, right? When you learned about masculinity, Orlando, what was it that you thought masculinity was? If it's one thing.
So what was the beginning part of it?
When you learned about masculinity, what did you think that it meant?
I actually thought it meant all the things that make you a man. Honestly, it's like these are the bullet point of things that you have to cover, and then once you cover that, you're a man.
What were those things?
What were they? I wonder. I
Um,
want Chris to answer this too.
It was very like physical leading things like make money, be good at sex, uh like be a leader, even though they don't really tell you like what you have to lead at or how you're supposed to be leading. Make sure nobody brings any aggression to you or your family, like be able to fight. Like it's just whatever is leading in the physical world, be dominant and be number one in that, and you're a man.
Wow.
You're-
And Chris, did you get any different messaging than that, Chris, for about masculinity?
I like what he said about kinda. I like what he said about it's like check these things off and you're a man. It's really like this kind of step by boom, and then okay, this makes it. And but I would say for me, I did kind of have a little bit different because my dad was so like I knew from an early age my dad. Oh, okay, so given what Orlando said, that's what's like socially accepted. But my dad, he was so different than that, and my dad was so the epitome of a man for me that I never bought into it because I love my dad so much. So like I really did get a different perspective on that. Like I and my mom was such a strong and respected person, and she typically took leadership roles that I kind of saw it the opposite. Like when we first dated, I would always think I was too feminine, and she's been, I'm like, I would tell her, I'm more feminine than most guys, and she was like, no, you're not. I'm like, well, I think I am, but over the course of this, I found out I'm really kind of androgynous, but she feels bad.
Yeah, that's cool. So the androgynous spectrum of energy is here and it's well respected as well within this framework. So androgyny is great. That means you have access, right?
So,
I always struggle with men who feel like they can only be in the masculine archetypes. Like you have all 9 of these. Everyone does.
and that's,
Right?
I'm sorry, but that's because of the socially accepted understandings of masculinity. I always thought something was wrong with me. So that's what I kind of to. Yeah, I thought something was wrong with me because I don't feel, and I don't feel it, but it's like I know I'm so different.
Yeah.
Because it's so structured in what you're supposed to be as a masculine male.
Yes. Wow. Well, Jamilah, when you think of now, what we broke down in the class, guys, is that we got these spectrum of masculine, but we also got a spectrum of feminine. Because for us, we didn't learn that. Like women thought we learned, what did we learn about what it means to be a woman or to be feminine?
Be nice and nurturing.
Yeah, I think what you're asking me, what I learned how to be feminine.
Yeah.
I think it was confusing. It was to be soft, to be nice, to cook, to like clean, to be like docile. I didn't come from a mom that's docile. She didn't make the best decisions, but she is from Philly, so that is not the upbringing that I came up with. Like my mom will curse you out in 5 minutes. So I am kind of that way. Like, and I would be really hurt when I would be in relationships with men and they're like, you're not feminine. You're not soft. And I was like, just because I can curse your fucking ass out and tell you about yourself, I'm not soft. And it would be like painful for me. But I think it's also very confusing when you come from a society that says like, be Betty Crocker, bake a cake and clean the house. And, you know, don't talk about sex in public, or don't talk back, or just take everything for fucking whatever this nigga says, just follow. That is, you know, that is what society tells you. And then I come from a mom who is also, I don't know, like not necessarily socially very feminine. And then I'm just fucking confused. So I think it's a confusing, what I've adopted was like, I'm trying to be soft because that's what my friends and TV says to find a man. But also like, I like to show my tits and I curse. And also what the fuck are you talking about? So I was always like, damn, I wish I could be more this way, even though I show up more this way, and constantly finding a struggle with it. And also feeling like, a lot of those traits that they portray as feminine traits are weak. And even having to get over that, like some of the things that being soft is not being weak. And like even last week in our trying to simulate devotee, it was difficult, you know, like it felt fake. Because I haven't been taught to just take what a man says at face value and trust it, because there's been a lot of men in my life that are not trustworthy. So, you know, just rediscovering what that meant for myself. And even through this, you know, these archetypes, just being able to lean in more and release what other people have said about me, and just be like, if I am more masculine, then that's fine too. And being okay with that.
That is so deep. I mean, we have 12 couples in our club, and we learned that we've all learned like similar messaging. I'm more with you, Jamilah, where mom was tough, but I was told to be nice and da 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 da. I didn't see that really in my house, but I guess that's feminine, and maybe my mind, you know, it's like it is a confusing piece. But what we really did discover with the archetypes is, I think this is it. We celebrate Mother's Day. That's devotee. That's the nice and and receptive and da da da. But it's no conservationist day. Like be in your shit, be in your magic, be in your power. Understand? Like there's no celebration of that type of femininity. And then this type of femininity, this is the sacred whore, you know, the sex goddess, you know, she likes showing tits, you know, she want to be, you know, she wants to be fucking, she wants to be, and so, that's her power. We're not talking, there's no day for that, but we do have the Mother's Day. That's why I rejected Mother's Day a long time ago. I was like, fuck Mother's Day. Why are we only celebrating this aspect of feminine? I want a celebration because we took Halloween to make this day where all women dress like sluts on Halloween.
Yeah, wait, where's
sluts.
the sex goddess day? I need that day so I can wear my tits out.
We made that Halloween. Like women do that
You're
on
right.
Halloween.
That is Halloween.
That's Halloween. But we need a sex goddess day. We need a deep, powerful, spiritual, and then we need this feminine who creates strategy. She is a genius. And she's a spirit connected genius, bringing wisdom from the inner planes to give to the leader. And so these are areas that we talked about in Divorce Proof Club. What were you going to say, Shani? I see you talking down there.
Yeah, I literally was going to agree with everything Jamilah said. I did have an aspect of growing up with femininity. My mom is from Miami. Well, we're from Miami, so it's kind of different where we live now. In Jacksonville, it's kind of southern. So I had like this, I don't want to say ratchet, but like Miami's sexy. So my mom was very sexy. So she's like, if you're not sexy for your man, someone else will be sexy for your man. So it's like, I have to be sexy, but I also have to be a virgin. Like, wait, it was a lot of different messages. So learning, like you said, there are different ways to be feminine or masculine. To know that I'm dominant, it's like, I'm okay. Like, I don't feel like something's wrong with me. So everything Jamilah said, plus that little cherry on top. Yeah.
Right. That's one thing that we do here in the club is we make sure people understand that these are the dominant archetypes. There's a masculine dominant, a feminine dominant, and a androgynous dominant. So it's not that dominant means masculine. No. Have you ever seen a dominant feminist? She's a diva. She's Mariah Carey. She's Whitney Houston. She dominates. She walk in a room. They say, oh, she's difficult to work with. Oh, she's so difficult, she a diva. She want her champagne. There was a movie where the blues singer wanted her Coca-Cola. Did you see that one? She wanted her Coca-Cola or she wasn't singing no blues on the record. That's dominant femininity. So each of these can be dominant. Now these are submissive. There's a submissive masculine, a submissive feminine, and a submissive androgynous. So we got to really delete or disconnect the dominant and dominance from masculinity and submission from femininity. They're separate. Does that make sense? Like, these are basic mathematical equations.
Especially knowing that to be submissive is just to learn. Like, I hope both of us can learn some shit.
Right. But when somebody is not submissive, they're dominant. It means they're closed to learning a new perspective. Their perspective is it. That's dominance.
Which means I don't want nothing to do with you if you can't learn no new tricks.
Well, sometimes that's important. If I want to be wealthy, my perspective is that I'm rich. I'm a rich bitch now. I'm dominant in that perspective. But now if I'm dominant in it and it's not occurring in my reality, I need to get some submission and learn how to be a rich bitch and learn about the taxes or the money or the whatever y'all talking about, investments. I gotta have both. I gotta be all nine. And so I worry about men who feel like they have to be dominant masculine. That means you're gonna learn nothing, you're gonna take in nothing, and you're gonna be what you are today. Are you satisfied with what you are today?
Right.
So there's some concerns. Now, what do you guys think? If somebody was on the outside saying, hey, my marriage is not going to work. I mean, I don't know what y'all are doing in the club. You told me about the damn club. But how is archetypes going to help my marriage? How is battery going to help my marriage? My wife is never going to be submissive. She's never going to be feminine. She's never, people think that. What would you tell them, Jamilah, based on your experiences so far here?
I would say, have you given them the opportunity to exist in all of their archetypes? There's a lot of us, there's a lot of pieces of us, a lot of parts of us, but we're only holding on to 2 or 3. And I was one of the big parts of me, like falling in love for real. I did mushrooms and I looked at him and I was like, oh, you're just a human. You're just a human person. You're not what I dreamed up. You're not the avatar I created online. You're not like a checklist of what's perfect for me, which makes me comfortable. You are just a fucking human that I fell in love with. And if I want to fall in love with a human, bitch, it's not gonna come exactly as I fucking imagine in my head. There's not gonna be no conflict, no pack talk. You're not gonna do everything that I say. It was like a deep realization that, oh, this nigga is a human just like me, and I'm gonna fall short, and he gonna fall short. And do I still love him? Yeah, I do. So how can we stay together with that in mind? And I think the battery gives space for humans to exist in multiple parts of themselves, and to say like, you're not going to be perfect, you're going to do some shit that triggers me, and that is actually what it's about. And actually,
but they,
and understanding like,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Just saying historically, and that's the thing, even in this class, you know, like Orlando's my husband, but I have a business partner that's my best friend who's also my wife. Before he came in, like there was a fucking a very like with non-sexual platonic wife, which I'm also going through the motions of like, oh, I have two very deep relationships, and including to my daughter, and everyone's not going to satisfy me all the time. Everyone's not going to do exactly as I would like them to do. So am I going to cut these motherfuckers off? I can't cut my kid off, and I can't cut this bitch off. We share a bank account.
Right.
How do I exist? And thinking of people who like existed in tribe settings where we thrived, is that there's no walking away. It's not like I'm divorcing you. It's like, you can't divorce. You can't leave the tribe, bitch. You can't build a shack 3 miles down. You got to stay here for the food and the weaving and everything else that we do as a community. And we come into like a world where everybody is disposable. Disposable. But the reality is people are not supposed to be disposable. We've created that world. And if you really love someone, if you really want to get to, you know, this other plane of higher consciousness of your higher self, then how do I love and accept you as you are and know that it's not personal to me?
Right. And I think that everything you're saying requires a way to house that. Like that's the ethereal that people want to get to, and they don't know how to get there. I feel like that's the work we do at Divorce Proof Club. But Chris, the people are saying it's too much drama. It's too much drama. Like what Jamilah just said. I hear you, Jamilah, but it's too much drama. My partner got too much drama. What do you say to that, Chris? Because we got to get more people to understand that we can move beyond this, but they're complaining that it's too much drama to try.
Well, I'll say I don't know how far this is our first time tuning in, but that's what venting and processing is for, and really understanding that you create your own life and everything that you have is a trigger, and your feelings you are responsible for, nobody else is. And when you can process and come to what's the step before gratitude? I forgot. Ownership, and then the gratitude, then it's like the devils that are on your heart are cleansed, and then you can appreciate and accept the things about somebody else that you couldn't accept about yourself.
Yes.
And it opens up, it just opens up these doors that you feel like you can, I don't want to say stare at, but like you can look outside and just see the beautiful picture instead of like judging it for how it's not how you expected it to be. And that way you can just kind of appreciate everything that's coming. That's what I think.
Chris and Shani have been in my Progressive Love Club for more than a year, and now they just jumped into the Divorce Proof Club, which takes it up a few notches. And so what do you all think? Are you glad you joined? And is there the drama? How are you settling it? Because really, I'm telling y'all, all four of you, I'm sharing with you that people really do not believe this is possible. I'm telling you that. That's why they're not staying together.
Well, so, yeah, we always tell you thank you because we literally were done. Like, I get choked up every time because I'm so grateful this is where we are now. Like, sitting snugly, laughing, and here with y'all because we were like, fuck this shit. I was on the way out the door. He literally like was walking out the door and he said, let's just put on the video you brought. And it was your video. It was that initial video. And we were quiet because it was a long video. It was like 90 minutes, but the whole time we were dead silent. And then we had a conversation and we kept moving from there, but we were done. So I would tell people, just give it a try. You are going to have to face you. Yeah. And that's challenging you. But
All right.
really, I want to say thank you because
That's nice.
Yes.
That's not the first time I've heard that about that video. I will link that video below. It's called How to Handle Intense Emotions Without an Argument. It costs just $47. It's like one of my baby beginner courses. I will put it down here. I didn't know that story. Thank you for sharing. Wow. And so Orlando and Jamilah, they are, they're here looking at y'all. Y'all are married. They haven't married yet. So the club supports people in seeing different levels to this shit. You know what I mean? Orlando and Mila, how has it been like hanging around all us married folks?
It's been great. I've always enjoyed being around married people and people in relationships and just like people ever since I was young because my parents were never together. So now I get to like get some kind of input on like, yo, how does it work? Like tell me something. Because the people that birthed me, they ain't got nothing for me. So please tell me something. So I always enjoy being around like other married people and not even really asking questions, but just sitting and just seeing like how they operate around each other. And my parents weren't like great examples, but I had like a aunt and uncle who are like a mother and father figure, and like just seeing how like they operated, they gave me like a foundation that I wanted to mimic, and then I just like kind of molded into my own. So this really just takes like the foundation and just like puts things on top of it that you need. Like, hey, here's the store that you come to for venting. Here's the shopping mall you come to for like your battery and like. So just having something to like build on, right?
And you guys have each other too. How has it been like with the guys? I noticed the guys this go round are like they linked up. They linked up this time.
Oh, I think last week we had like a men's only like group, and the group that we had split up into, and that was I think really helpful, especially for like the other guys that was there, because I think a lot of things for us is just feeling like we're alone in the situation. And then when you realize, no, bro, you're not alone, and here's some guidance. And specifically for me, I didn't have much guidance in like my teens, which I think is a pivotal moment for a man or boy to like show like, hey, you're about to go into life, and these are the things you're gonna come across. And a lot of us like didn't have that, so now we're like tripping out. Like, am I tripping? Am I bugging out? Like, am I doing it wrong? It's like, no, you're not doing anything wrong. This is just what's come up in life and why you're at the position you're at now. And just to have like another thought process coming from somebody that's similar to you as far as like being the same gender is what really is helpful to men.
Dope. That's dope. They're talking about last week they were with my husband, y'all. My husband comes into the club from time to time to support the men. And they also have their own private group where they are supported as well. Jamilah and Jamilah and Shani, we all got together last week too, didn't we? Tell them about that. What was your experience like with that, Jamilah and Shannon? You go first, Jamilah.
I think it was like clarity that it's not just me, that a lot of women have a little bit of a problem with being a devotee and being nurturing and being soft and being inviting. And I think a lot of us have built that up because it's survival and like you can't believe everything a nigga tells you and you have to be able to make decisions. And also we've been told that men are dumb and men are this and like, don't trust that shit. Like, check and balance it yourself. And so I think that it brought a lot of discomfort to know that I'm not the only one struggling in certain areas. And also just from you too, Kenya, just like understanding the value and the power of falling back and falling into your softness and falling into your, I would say like the mothering of the man. I know a lot of women, we talk about like, I'm not his mom and we're not, but there is a level of nurturing and mothering that men are seeking from women. Like this is the primary foundational sprouting of the opposite sex love. And so a lot of us are existing in our like our childhood selves, seeking validation from mothers and fathers. And so if we completely reject those ideas, we miss an opportunity to really pour into places that our partner's parents missed.
Yes.
And actually like embracing that role and knowing how powerful it is when you're like, oh my God, that's a wonderful idea. I love it. I'm doing everything in my power to make it work. Oh my God, babe, you want to go to Chuck E. Cheese and do what? I love Chuck E. Cheese or whatever the fuck it is. and not come with like our like immediate speculation or like our immediate like that doesn't fucking work. Like what there's our like what are you talking about? And I recognize how just how the roles and reiterating how important that power is, and so I appreciate that from you.
Good. That's what she's talking about, y'all. Is down here at the bottom of the chart. We practice. We literally did skits to practice the devotee energetic, the conservationist energetic, the lover energetic, and the visionary. And so that's what we have the women working on, and we have the men working up here. However, men can be down here and the women can be up here. It doesn't matter. These are two sides of the brain. You have both sides. All of us do. So that's a big deal here at the Academy. What
I
do you have to
appreciate
say on
the
that?
role play.
Yeah. That's
Sometimes people
fun.
are like, do this, and it makes sense logically, but to do it in action, it does not fucking mean the same thing. I can be like, of course I know I should be supportive, but like, how does that actually look and feel?
Yeah.
So it was beneficial.
Good. What you got to say on that, Shani? And I know I'm keeping y'all long. We're gonna go soon. Thank you all so much for this. Go ahead, Shani.
Great. I loved the women's only group when we were kind of meeting. It seemed like all of us kind of relaxed our shoulders. It was like, oh, the feminine. It's so good to be in this space. And one of the biggest things I enjoyed was learning the deities associated with the different type of feminine archetypes. Because, like you said, you only learn devotee. Like that's the only one that's kind of accepted. But in the group, the women were so vulnerable and so open and actually so soft. I don't know if they believe that, but they were so open to hearing things, and they also encouraged me. So being in the group helped a lot. Just to learn more and more of, oh, I can be feminine in this way and this way. And actually, I'm just as powerful. And just to plug Diva Deep Dive, because I am taking those as well, I'm learning like, yeah, I am very powerful in these things. And I see how Chris has changed. He doesn't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. And I feel great. And I feel relieved and I don't feel as stressed. So being in the group last week with the girls, it was just nice to just be around their energy. Honestly, it was beautiful.
That's so nice. She's talking about she was in a Diva Deep Dive. Diva Deep Dive is a course that we do here at the Academy that takes you all the way into lover. So, lover, if you want to strengthen your lover, you need to get into Diva Deep Dive. This is like where we take the women into actual, what is a sex ritual? What is a sensuality? Like I'm showing in the videos, I'm doing the rituals with you. And it is really powerful. It really helps you to affect your relationship without using force. Because force is never going to work. I mean, even when men use force, half the time it don't work. I mean, it's not.
No.
It's force alone is just such a lonely energetic. It's really it doesn't work outside of the community. So here's force. Force is soldier. What are you forcing if you didn't get the objective from the monk? The buy-in from the devotee, the clearing, the strategy. Now the king tells you to use force in this way because the visionary says so. Now force works. Outside of a structure, force is useless.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why people think it's so cool. Well, I said I'm done with this. That's force outside of any structure. It's useless. Does that make sense, Chris? I see you shaking your head. You give me your insight, conservationist. Wizard, tell me, am I tripping?
Well, that's something I learned from like having kids and stuff, and just from like life growing up. I don't try to force. You never really get a good result when you try to force people to do things. When I did my number chart, it said that I do exist on the dominant end of the spectrum. However, like it reflects more of a passive dominance, which to me has always been energetically and sexually aligning for me. It's like I don't want to take from somebody. I would rather my essence be something that they submit to. And that's to me, that's the most because you give the person a choice. And I think that that's something that in our Western way of thinking about things, we try to force the women to not feel their masculine side by telling them they should be feminine or submissive rather, instead of dominant or feminine. And when you realize you celebrate both that plus the other side, it's like you just let them become their whole entire self. And the same with men. It's like men were forced to believe like you won't be treasured or valued unless you completely embody these dominant masculine roles. But it's like, nah, you really got to understand and feel the whole thing. And when you have that choice, when you aren't forced to be in one area, then you can just allow yourself to flow. And that's where everything kind of starts to come together, in my opinion.
I think we're going to get there, y'all. I think we're going to get there. I know we're going to get there. And I think I'm going to see it. I think we're going to see it in our lifetime where this starts to rearrange itself. Y'all, I'm so excited and so happy and so glad that you're here tonight. We do have to go. Y'all know I'll be keeping stuff on a real basic level. Let people know we're here. You guys sharing your stories is letting people know we're here, and they're watching. They're watching. They want to know. So you all are showing up, showing out. Thank you so much. If you all are interested in getting into this type of community, working on this type of work, please, by all means, use the links. Divorce Proof Club starts again August 21st, 2025. So if you have friends who need this, people who are in relationships, let's stop these breakups. Thank you all. We'll see. Go ahead. We'll see.
If you gotta force it, it don't fit.
Oh, what?
If you gotta force it, it don't fit.
That's it. Oh, that's all we were talking about. That's the whole thing. Don't force it in there, please. Put some lube on that. We love you guys. We'll see you all next week. Thank you. Bye.